What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew 2. And well, as you all know, there's a couple new vehicles added into the game last week, and it's pretty awesome to see because we managed to get a new Jetsprint boat because, well, there's like 5 of these. It's pretty awesome to see this thing in here because we don't get a lot of these boats normally added. Obviously, in a very long time, haven't seen any. So seeing this thing in the game is pretty awesome, and honestly, just by the looks, probably the coolest looking Jetsprint boat in the game. I mean, this thing is actually really freaking cool looking. It looks like a mini like summer. I don't even know, but it looks really freaking cool, and I'm very happy to see they actually added a new boat into this category because everyone's probably using. My favorite boat is the Proto Hornet, but maybe there's a new boat on the block that can compete with that. I'll probably do a comparison video in the future on these two. Anyway, let's take a quick look at this thing here. So let's see if there's any customization. So moving into the customization, as you guys can see, you cannot do anything to the boat visually, but you can look and do customization color-wise to it, which is pretty cool here. So you can change the color of the boat if you would like. I might just end up leaving it the reddish color here. It looks pretty awesome in that color, but here are the official colors if you are interested. And then you can also add any of the Crew 2 colors in the game that Ubisoft makes. These colors are pretty much available to every single vehicle in the game, I believe. So if you're interested in doing that, you're more than welcome to. And then you can also add a livery to it if you want to add one that Ubisoft has made or Ivory Tower, whatever. Or you can add a livery that someone has made as well. A lot of these probably look very, very cool, like that one. People did such an amazing job on these guys. I mean, definitely add these to the vehicle if you're interested. No visual part, like I said. You can also do a couple of vanity items here. So you could do nitro, which I'll add to that. And then you can also do underglows, and then finally horns, and that is it. Obviously, you can't put tires on it because, well, it's a boat. Besides that, let's go do a couple of races in it and drive this thing a little bit and see how it actually does. So for the first race, I figured I would jump into the Las Vegas Waterway because, well, this is the race I actually grinded for all the parts on my Jetsprint boat, and it's pretty interestingly annoying doing this race on Ace, so I've actually put it on the regular difficulty here to test this thing out. So anyway, jumping right into the race here. So many of you probably have used this boat already in the Summit recently, and I was honestly very, very impressed with it in that. The speed of this thing's actually really good, and it actually seems to handle pretty dang well. It keeps itself very stable in ways that some of the other boats don't. I know some of the other boats, when you turn them a little too much, or you try to turn them, they kind of lose all their handling, or like they just mess up really bad and they lose a lot of speed, and they just get really jittery and stuff like that, which I notice is an issue with a lot of these boats. I normally don't use the Jetsprint boats too much, mainly because I don't really think you need to unless you have to on races like this. They're pretty fun to drive around though. Let's go into first person right now and see how it looks. So obviously looks like a canopy. It's pretty cool. I'm very impressed how this thing is still so freaking stable on turns and stuff like that. A lot of the other boats just... I normally only use the Hornet mainly because that boat has so much stability and speed and it doesn't struggle as much in some areas like the other boats do. Funny how the cheapest boat in the game is actually the best, but that might change right now after buying this thing. This boat is available for everybody in the actual HQ there if you're interested in it. I'm generally impressed, I'm not gonna lie. Nice handling. So stability and handling is pretty much on par with the Hornet, I have to say. It seems very, very good. I will do more vigorous testing on that soon, see actually how they do against each other. Jumping nicely. It seems to catch up speed pretty fast. Let's do a quick little top speed run right here. So max out around 121-ish, 122 there is pretty dang fast for a Jetsprint. Let's go do another race right now and see how it does in one of those. I figured for the second race I would jump into the Maine Highlands cave here, which is one of the races that seem to pop up in the summits pretty often here, and this one can be a little annoying, struggling with it sometimes and how the cave is designed. That's why a lot of the Jetsprint boats are normally not used that often, mainly because like the stability and speed and all them just aren't there. And they struggle really hard in some areas, like if you barely touch the analog stick, they'll literally turn into a different dimension, and it is very, very frustrating for that matter. That's actually why I really don't use any of them, because I just feel like they're not that great at times, and they kind of bug me a little bit. So I try to avoid them as much as possible here. I probably could have cut there, but I want to actually hit the turns with this thing a little bit. Let's cut it a little bit there. Very, very impressed how this thing is handling. It has no stability issues whatsoever like a lot of the other boats have. When I was normally testing the other boats for a bit, when I was trying to find the best boat, the Hornet just didn't struggle as much on some turns. Like, let's say if you go through this tunnel here, you barely touch the analog stick, you'd crash. But this one just doesn't lose itself at all. Handles very, very nicely. Let's go hit the nitrous here more. So top speed of the boat seems to be 120 or so, which is pretty average for a lot of these boats. But it's more about how they can keep the speed and hold their speed in certain areas by going around turns and all that as well. Not only does this boat look really awesome, and it's probably my favorite looking Jetsprint, which is probably not the hardest thing to do because the other ones all kind of look the same. This thing looks freaking amazing, and not only does it look amazing, it handles very, very well and is very quick. This might be one boat that might need to be tested more. Wow, look at that. So nice. Anyway, guys, that is the second race completed there in a new Proto Rocket. This thing is super awesome. If you have not checked it out yet, definitely go drive it a little bit and test it out more. I will probably do a comparison video in the future with this and the Hornet because this thing is really, really good. Anyway, here are my settings. And here are the settings I'm running on my Proto Rocket.